Tickets for the 2026 Season of Speed at Worldwide Technology Raceway are on sale now. The Bommarito Automotive Group 500 and Celebration of 66 Festival, June 6th and 7th. The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300, O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and Confluence Music Festival, September 11th through 13th. And the NHRA Napa Auto Parts Midwest Nationals, October 2nd through 4th. Save big by going to WWTRaceway.com.
Hello and welcome everyone to the home of one of our major premier partners here at the Elite Racing Leagues, the Worldwide Technology Raceway here at Gateway. For the last race of the playoffs before we run for a championship next week, I am James Watson, joined as always by my broadcast partners Mathieu Weeks and Jesse Rasimas. First of all, Matt, real quick before we get going, what are you looking forward to for tonight?
Probably a little bit of chaos. I know how Gateway tends to go. Some, kind of races similar to a short track sometimes, so I could see some chaos happen. And then some of these guys, a lot of them are in must-win situations, so we could probably see some crazy strategy calls late in the race if there's cautions and stuff.
Absolutely, as we are getting ready for everyone to hit the starting grid. And speak of the starting grid, our starting lineup for tonight's race, we have Caleb Pecumer on pole here tonight. He's going to need a massive run to get into the Final Four, and he's showing that he is up to the task. Next to Ethan Stanley, who's already been locked into the championship for what feels like an eternity at this point. And then we have Trey Eidson also locked in, Ty McIntosh, who's going to need a must-win, and Leighton Norgard rounding out the top five. So the playoff drivers that need this win are going to be up here battling for it. Then the rest of the top 10 features Ricky Harden, Gerald Campbell, Seth Rawls, Jeff Green, and William White. William is currently holding on to that final spot in the championship four, but only 4 points over Caleb Pecumer. So it's going to be tense times for William trying to bounce back after what seemed like was going to be a win, only for the wheels to come off in absolutely spectacular fashion for him and many others in the wild closing laps of that Charlotte race. But we are just a couple quarters away from getting the green flag here. We see the pace car getting ready to make that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Caleb Pecumer will lead us to the restart zone. Green means go, and we are underway at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
And a good start there by Caleb, and Caleb did the first thing right, got a pole, so now he took that -4 points to -3 points to start the race, so that's good. And now his main goal is just try to outrace William and everyone else the rest of the night so he could take that fourth and final spot.
And the other important thing too is he got a great jump down into turn one and was able to clear Stanley and hold on to the lead. It is very hard to make the pass on the bottom 1 and 2 here at Gateway. So being able to control the race and control that outside, it's going to be huge and pay big dividends for Caleb if he can hold on to this lead all the way for another 90 laps.
Yeah, and it looked like coming out of 4, he had a little mistake. It looked like he lost a little bit of speed. I thought Stanley was kind of underneath him going into 1. So
yeah, you saw they were side by side, but Caleb was able to hold tough. Meanwhile, here comes Gerald Campbell battling with Ricky Harden and move Gerald into the top 5 now.
And Gerald, this is one of these tracks he's good at. I remember like one of my first seasons racing Elite, he was in the Champ 4 in the Cup Series, and he dominated this track to win the championship. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Gerald go up there and compete for this win.
Absolutely, as you see Norgard and Seth Rawls battling amongst each other. Oh, truck hard into the inside wall. Couldn't quite tell who that was. Looks like Jeff Ryan. Oh, we got another truck going around. Courtney McCorkle back into the wall. Meanwhile, finishing up the replay of Jeff Ryan, and 3 wide. Got a little bit of contact from, I think, Jane Rasimas next to him, and just sent the 3 down into the wall.
Yeah, it just looked like they got squeezed all together on the exit.
And then here's what brought out the caution. And a little bit of meeting in the middle between Frank Fody and McCorkle, which ends up with the 2 backing into the wall. Unfortunate for Cody. I think we're gonna go ahead and get one quick break in, and we will be back shortly.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Alrighty, we are back, and we are already 1 to green. Caleb Pecumer continues to hold on to this lead, but I gotta say, him choosing the inside, I'm a little bit surprised by that. I figured he would have chosen the top on this. So Caleb has to make sure he nails this restart. And he also has to take note of the truck behind him, Ty McIntosh, one of the many in a must-win situation tonight. Ty's going to do everything he can to see if he can get the lead here. Where the top 2 on the outside row, they're already in. They're just vibing.
Yep, they just want to win a race. Is pretty much they want to do. Just get an extra win on the season tonight.
Absolutely. As Caleb Pecumer brings them to the restart zone. Green means going. We're back underway at Worldwide Technology. A massive jump for Pecumer. Exactly what he needed. He's going to hold on to the lead as we barrel on down into turn 1. He's running low, which is going to give Stanley the opportunity to get the run off of the outside, but Stanley has his hands full with McIntosh as here comes Stanley diving to the inside of Pecumer. Ethan giving it everything he's got.
That corner's always deceiving when you go underneath someone because you kind of drive it in a little hard and you think it's going to stick, and where it doesn't have that much banking, you just sometimes just slide right up into that guy to your outside.
Especially since you're kind of used to just flat-footing it through 3 and 4 anyway, so when you try to send it on someone and you have to let off, like you said, it always catches you off guard. As McIntosh is fighting hard with Eitzen, as both of them are fighting hard with Stanley. Big Humor starting to get himself a little bit of a gap here. Trey trying to keep the momentum on the inside, but Ty is going to pull him on the outside, and Eidsen's going to tuck back in.
Excuse me there. Good run down the bottom. I don't know. They updated this track, I think, earlier in the year or halfway through this year, and whatever they've done to it on iRacing, updating it and doing the whole rescan, it's like, to me, it's made this track way better, more racy. There's an extra line you can use in 1 and 2. 3 and 4, you can kind of move around a little bit more too. So I think whatever they did with the rescan here has just made this track a really fun track to race. And I used to not like this track.
I always loved this track in the Indy Pro 2000. Oh, wow. Gerald reporting blinking out of the 69. And yeah, Ricky Hard was gone for a good chunk of that front straightaway. That is not nice for Ricky.
Oh, can't have that now. That's always scary, even when you're the one blinking, we're telling you, like, oh no, please, I don't want to lag out, don't want to wreck nobody this way. Just let it go away.
Absolutely is now Harden trying to hold off Norgard.
Norgard's in one of those spots where I feel like I think he was like minus 21, 22 coming in tonight, and when you're looking at that and there's not that many trucks, and if you don't get stage points, you pretty much he's pretty much in a must-win situation right there. So there's a lot of guys that are in a must-win situation. I think we're going to see some crazy calls throughout the night with these guys trying to get the victory.
Yeah, that's the worst thing for our race leader, is a whole bunch of guys with nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yep, and then you got Stanley down there who's won a race, who's locked in. They're teammates, but don't think about it. He is not going to let you win this race. Stanley's one of those guys, just like me, we show up no matter what race it is, we want to win. And so Caleb, I know racing Caleb for a while, he has a knack for kind of burning his tires. We just need him not to feel so much pressure. Run nice smooth lines, take care of the tires, get as many stage points as you can. That way, if someone else does win that's not in a must-win situation, you pretty much have the point advantage over William White.
Absolutely, especially since right now Caleb, of course, taking back stage points, and William outside of stage points at 11th. This is pretty much the exact opposite of what William White needs to happen. This is not going to plan for the 43 truck, and this is working out great for Caleb, because if he can hold serve for at least the next 15 laps, get these stage points, then things are a lot easier, because if Stanley passes you, well, Ethan's already locked in. It makes no difference, which means it keeps that last spot open, which would go to Caleb if he holds on to finish second. So it only becomes a problem if it's that truck in third place, for example, Ty McIntosh bringing home the win. Then the stage points are irrelevant, because, hey, there's all 4 spots taken by a race winner.
Yeah. And then Leighton's still here. Working on Seth. That's one thing about Seth looks like he lifted a little early. Let him have it. That's one thing about this place as I was about to touch on. There's a little bit of extra lines to be able to move, but it's still, I think, one of the hardest places to make a pass.
Yeah, like it's pretty much gonna be slide job city if you're gonna make any sort of move.
Yep. Ooh, William with a little wiggle out of turn 2 there. Looks like Gerald's struggling a little bit. Oh, late.
Yeah, saw the 12 slide up just a little bit in center. It looked like he might have been able to get the pass done until that happened. But now he is once again, and oh, Seth was maybe looking to take it 3.
I thought he was going to do it.
Close.
Be careful here,
Off
Leighton.
the 2.
This guy right here is the hardest guy to pass besides Chad.
Absolutely.
Oh, that corner is so deceiving. When you're underneath someone. Oh. He thought he had it. I thought he was gonna slide up. It's like every time you see someone get underneath anyone going into 3, it looks like they're just gonna slide up and hit him in the door.
Now you see a couple trucks behind. William is in 10th, getting that last stage point. And
But he needs to get more, I think.
Yeah, but at least this is a step in the right direction, especially since he's right behind this big group, and we still have about 10 laps to go until the end of stages. There he goes, looks to the outside of Jeff. Just not able to carry the speed through the center, but Jeff might have made contact with the wall. And here comes William trying to take advantage of it. Ooh, almost contact between those two.
That's close. It looked like William, even going into 1, he had a little wiggle, and I thought that messed up his entire corner, but looked like it slowed him down enough on entry to where he can really have the run on the exit of the corner.
Yeah, and you see he was able to complete the pass, so move the 43 up into 9th.
This is what you got to do right now. Just pick them off one at a time. And I know you're running out of time, but at least still get some stage points so you don't lose that much.
Yeah, because you never want to be sitting at the end of this race and just go, man, if I was just a little more aggressive in that first stage, maybe got myself an extra point, might have been a much different story.
Yep. Cody got a little loose there going into 1. We're good. Truck kind of looks like it's fun to drive. I don't have enough time to run any laps tonight. I kind of joined the lobby late. But it looks like it's fun. I remember doing a race here in some truck series I was doing throughout the year. And we ran here, and I think this was one of the best races of the season we had was at this track. And I don't know what they did to it, but it turned into a fun little track to race now.
Absolutely, but you see a huge gap between these packs of trucks. The top 4 is just absolutely walked away.
Yeah, it looks like Gerald drove hard earlier in the part of the run, kind of burned his stuff off, and now everyone's catching that's behind him. And like I touched on before when Leighton was trying to make that move, this guy is one of the hardest people to pass in the league. So, and all these guys are going to have a tough time trying to get by this 31 truck, especially when he's in a must-win situation. He is not going to make this easy.
Yeah, you just cannot give up that track position, especially if we get a caution and reset everything and Gerald's able to get those fresher tires and get back up in that lead battle.
Yeah, that 3 and 4 looked pretty good for Gerald right there too.
Yeah, it just looks like the issue might be 1 and 2 for the 31 because you saw him kind of slide up a little bit on corner entry.
Yep, and then a little wiggle on exit there, so he's running a little, he's entering the corner a little bit higher than I would like, but he's doing this diamond line, really cutting the truck down and building the momentum for these long straightaways.
Yeah, and I don't know if that 12 burned his stuff up trying to get by, but you see Gerald able to pull the gap. Although, of course, as I say that, Leighton has had his best set of corners in a little bit.
Yep. Some of these guys coming up, I know Fody, Frank got a little contact with Cody early in the race, but he's moved up some, and just a big pack right here of these guys that are really trying to figure out how to make a move on the truck in front of them.
Absolutely. Now Seth looking to the inside of Leighton once again.
William with a little wiggle. Yeah, it looks like Leighton kind of burned his stuff up too. I think he drove a little hard, you know, trying to get some track position, trying to get some stage points, get closer to the front. And now he's struggling with a little bit as was that 2 to go until stage end. So this is going to be big for Caleb. I mean, he was +3. You know, we talked about that pole gaining him a point. Now he's going to gain 10 points if he wins the stage. If William doesn't gain another spot, I think he's going to get like 2 points.
I think Gerald might have got the wall. If not, he couldn't have been any closer without actually getting it.
Yeah, I think he did because I seen the dust come up off the. That was that's one thing you don't want to do is hit the wall.
No, you don't. As here we are, last lap of stage 1. Caleb McHumor with a 0.6 of a second lead over Ethan Stanley. Whoa, big wiggle for Ricky Harden.
And William.
Yeah, you saw William had his own issues, so he couldn't quite take advantage of it. As now Leighton really fighting with Gerald side by side off of turn 4. McHumer's going to win the stage. And looks like Gerald's going to hold the Leighton off for 5th.
Yeah, good stuff for that's what he needed. And now the points open even more. Now that pretty much gives Caleb like +10. Probably even more now. I mean, that's a nice little point cushion to have getting the stage, stage win.
Yeah, Caleb entered tonight 4 points behind. He is now a net +9 with 10 stage points and the pole point, with only 2 points going to William White.
Excuse me, it looked like Frank almost had a big moment right there coming out of 4. Jeff working on William back there. Moving in.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big send from that 38.
Yeah, he's hoping that Will gives him this same little respect he gave him, but you can't do that if you're Will tonight. This is one of those places where you got to keep track of position. You got to get as close to the front as you possibly can.
Oh,
Especially
and
with
now
Caleb leading
Jeff
the race.
throwing a big block on William, who's trying to take the spot back.
Now he's getting pressure by Javier. It's going to be a tall task, when Caleb's up there leading this race and you're stuck back here, in 10th, trying to pass these trucks. And one of the hardest tracks to
Contact!
No!
Jesse Rasimas into the back of the 4, Logan Shea. There's more contact. Around goes the 4. And now around goes the 1. Oh boy, caution is out here at Gateway. You see, job by everyone to avoid the one. And race control is ruling that on the one. Looks like Jane just misjudged it on entry and right into the rear of the 4.
Yeah, it looks like the 4 lifted to get really to the bottom, and I don't think Jaden was ready for it. Just caught him in the rear and just started the whole sequence.
You see everyone bringing it down pit road, and while that's going on, we're gonna go ahead and take another break, and we will be back with you shortly.
Tickets for the 2026 season of Speed at Worldwide Technology Raceway are on sale now. The Bomarito Automotive Group 500 and Celebration of 66 Festival, June 6th and 7th. The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300, O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and Confluence Music Festival, September 11th through 13th. And the NHRA Napa Auto Parts Midwest Nationals, October 2nd through 4th. Save big by going to WWTRaceway.com.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Alrighty, welcome back, and we are 1 to green. So far, no real major changes in position on the pit cycle. Caleb McCumer, still your race leader.
Yeah, now everyone has an idea what the tire wear was. That was a nice 30 lap run to the end of the stage. And now you got an idea of what you need to do. Take care of the tires or to make some moves late in the run if we get a long run. And now we're going to see some things. I think you're going to be able to make it to the end on fuel here. So it's going to be about, if it goes green to the end, it's going to be about taking care of your stuff.
Absolutely. We're just a few laps short of the halfway point already as the pace car gets ready to make that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Caleb McCumer will lead us to the restart zone. Green means go. We're back underway at Gateway.
Good jump by Caleb, and it looked like Gerald was sleeping on the restart there.
It sure was, and now Norgard might be able to take advantage of it. He keeps to the outside of Gerald. And this is going to be bad for the 31 because he's going to have a lot of trucks try to line up to see if they can follow Norgard through. Gerald doing a good job keeping alongside Norgard.
Oh, he caught the curb. He got a little loose. Oh! What a save right there.
And there goes Norgard, finally free of the 31, and now here comes Seth trying to join him in that.
Yeah, what I'm seeing here, it looks like if you're going to make a move early in the run on these tires, you want to be on the outside of the truck. And I know late in the run it might want to be the same thing, because it just seems to be really hard to pass on the bottom.
Yeah, you really want to be on the outside early in the run. you also want to be on the outside in the middle of the run and at the end of the run, but definitely also on the beginning of the run.
Yep, and it looks like Gerald's trying to prove me wrong, really racing Seth right here on the bottom, really putting up a fight.
Now
he makes the move on Ty.
Yep, jumps to the inside of the 10. Ooh.
That's close.
It is super close.
Seth keeps thinking about it sometimes when he comes off a 4 and gets a good run on some trucks in front of him that are next or side by side, and he goes to look. Oh!
And I think Seth just got the wall. Here comes Gerald trying to take it back. Seth just holding on for dear life. He's gonna keep the position on Gerald. They got the 43 who needs to make something happen right now.
Gerald drove it in there hard with a little wiggle in the middle of the corner. Come on, Gerald, don't race him too hard. You gotta take care of these tires. Don't want to overheat them.
Absolutely, but somehow I don't think Gerald's gonna listen to that.
Oh, he ain't gonna listen to. Like I said, like 2 times already, this guy, he will race you no matter what lap it is or what time of the race, whatever. He's gonna race anybody super hard.
You saw a little bit of contact between the two in the center of the corner. Oh, William looking to make it 3. He backs out.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna do it.
Honestly, I'm surprised William just didn't keep his foot in it. I think that would have been the better bet. Possibly.
Yeah, if you're already showing your nose and you're thinking about it, you might as well go for it. You can't hesitate. And when you hesitate on the track, that's when there's that's when an issue happens.
Here it comes, big send from the 43. This is exactly what Seth wants to see. It's like, finally, I might actually be free. And oh, Gerald having to make a save into the wall. Now Williams gonna go by. Ricky trying to follow him. Move William White up to 7th, and Gerald gonna hold off Harden.
That was a big hit right there. So Gerald didn't get no right side damage on that. It looks pretty clean from here.
And that's lucky for the 31, because that looked like a hefty hit.
Yeah, and it was like a big hit, then multiple small hits after that. But yeah, looking at the right side, it looks pretty good. And you don't want to get the damage, Oh, that's a little scratch. It looks good. But you don't want to get no damage, because if you get some damage around the tire, especially on that right side, the right front, left front, it causes you to burn that tire even more. So I'm glad he didn't get no damage and it didn't affect his race, and he can still stay in it here.
And you do not want to lose that skew in the rear and take away all your side force. See Frank Fody making the pass on Cale Pocock up into 15th.
And then what I have learned with these trucks is, like, if you get damage on the front, you get really, really tight. If you get damage on the rear, you get really, really loose. So if I'm going to get any damage, at least give it on the rear to loosen up the truck a little bit so I can drive it.
Absolutely. As Becumer continues to lead this race, as Stanley has his hands full with Eitzen right behind.
Yeah, where did he come from? He wasn't really up there racing these boys that first run, and then we have this restart. He gets in front of Ty, and now he's putting some pressure on Ethan.
Yeah, he had actually just got by McIntosh when that caution came out, and now he is fully trying to push and see if he can get himself another win for the road before he runs for a championship next week.
Yeah, and he's one of those. He's one of the favorites. I know he hasn't won a lot of races, but he is so good at taking care of his stuff and being really smart about what he does on the track. And to me, I feel like he's one of Stanley's biggest threats in the championship race.
Absolutely. And whoa! Big sideways, Dylan Devere harder than the outside wall. That 57, yeah, that 57 is toast. Oh, he is just running all up over the wall. And caution is out. Dylan not able to bring that truck back to pit road, so does the next smartest thing he can do and just brings it to a stop away from harm from anyone else. So, sounds like the tally is gonna go on the 2. I gotta say, with how much of a block Dylan was throwing there, it's hard to me to really ding McCorkle on that one. I'm under the thought process of if you try to block at a short track, gonna get set. Even though this isn't quite a short track, it's definitely a aggressive defense right there. We see a lot of people bringing it down, except for looks like Jeff Ryan, Gerald Campbell, Jeff Green, Dustin Dorr. Can't quite tell who that red truck is. Interesting. Well, it's been controlled by Pecumer all race long. Let's see what that 59 truck has. Trying to get through some traffic here, but we're going to go ahead and take another break, and we'll be back for the green.
Tickets for the 2026 Season of Speed at Worldwide Technology Raceway are on sale now. The Bommarito Automotive Group 500 and Celebration of 66 Festival, June 6th and 7th. The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300, O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and Confluence Music Festival, September 11th through 13th. And the NHRA Napa Auto Parts Midwest Nationals, October 2nd through 4th. Save big by going to www.raceway.com.
Alrighty, we are Wonder Green, and you see things are really flipped upside down now. Caleb Pecumer rolled off, 4th off of pit road, so he's going to be in 8th. Ethan Stanley ahead, and McIntosh and Norgard behind him. Not entirely sure what the strategy calls were for the 10 and the 12, if they took 2 or if they took 4. As we see the pace car make the hard left-hand turn on the pit road, Gerald Campbell will lead us to the restart zone. Green means go. We are back underway at Gateway. Huge jump from Gerald, exactly what he needs. So we send it off down into turn 1. Here comes Stanley with a huge run off on the outside. Coming out of turn 2. We are 3 wide. We're 3 wide at any rate. So here comes Eitzen, and right now I am not seeing Caleb Pecumer.
Oh no, that is not good.
Man, a horrendous restart for the pole sitter. This is not looking good right now. He's still got few points over William White, but he's got to get it back into gear and quickly. You see Gerald still holding on to the race lead over Stanley for now. Oh, big gaggle of cars in front of Pecumer. So we're 3 wide. Dorr, McIntosh, and Norgard. Oh, big sideways for Ricky Horton as there goes Pecumer around.
Oh no.
Pecumer might be able to clear Harden off of turn 2. That wasn't a good... Oh! And there goes Dorr spinning into the inside wall. Stay green for now.
Oh, not Dusty. Oh, that's unlucky.
Just all by himself, just gets loose. And Norgard just right there to finish him off and further put that 32 around. So you see Pecumer side by side with Jeff Green. William White, meanwhile, has driven up to P3. The 43 has come to play now, but is it too little, too late? Ooh, I think someone might have got the wall for. Might have been Jeff Green, but not sure on that one.
These boys are going at it now.
Yes, sir. We're just short of 30 laps to go. A third of the race left. Oh, someone going around in the back. Connor Thompson around. And caution is out. Oh boy, that could have been bad. Whew. You see the 30 side by side with, I think that might be Brent Jones. You see Cullen up wide and then gets into the 30 and around goes Thompson. Not quite sure on that one. You see Cullen just goes way up the track, gathers it back up, and then running about a lane off of the wall. Looks like Thompson was anticipating him to go up a little higher, and in the middle they meet, essentially. And so far, Gerald Campbell, the only one to bring it down. Jeff Green joins him. Oh, well, that restart was certainly something, right, Matt?
Yeah, that was something else. And I wanted to touch on, since we're under caution right here, about the tally I gave the 2, since I heard you. The only reason I gave him that, I knew he got the block, but he tried to still go underneath him going into 3, and to me, I felt he was going to be way too low, the both of them. And going in that corner, I felt where he was so low and didn't have the arc he needed, he still would have wrecked that truck. That's the only reason why I gave that to to McCorkle there.
There you hear it from race control as Campbell and Green exit the pits. Alright, so let's reset the running order right now. Your race leader, Ethan Stanley from Trey Eidson, William White, Seth Rawls, and Ty McIntosh, the top 5. Caleb Picumer is recovered up to P6, and then Ricky Harden, Tommy Ryan, last week's race winner, has finally made his first appearance into the top 10 all night, with Leighton Norgard and Jane Rasimas having a great recovery drive from his incident with Logan Shea, holding on to the last spot in the top 10. And then the rest of our playoff field, McCorkle in 11th, Austin and Abnett in P16. And then we have Gerald in 20th, and then Dylan Javier, who is likely out of this race, and Gavin Higgins, who I don't think actually showed up to turn any laps. So we are now 1 to green.
Which is, it sucks for Gavin. I felt like this could have been one of those tracks he would have been really good at.
Yeah, I agree completely. Don't know what happened with the 20, but a massive bummer.
Yeah, you never know what could happen, man. Life comes first before racing, so something could have came up, and then...
Amen to that, as Ethan Stanley will lead us to the restart zone. Green means go. We're back underway at Gateway. Huge jump from everyone on that outside lane. Seth Rawls now going to be side by side with his teammate. Not able to hold on to the position. Great drive from Eidson through. Oh, and we're going to be 3 wide. Oh, this is not what you want to see if you're the 59. Oh, it's contact. Picumer having to go way wide. And Ryan is going to clear. Oh, man, another disaster restart. His caution is out. Jeff Green into the inside wall. Oh, and he gets clobbered by Justin Dorr.
As Jay's saying, let's look at his view from it. That was big right there.
Logan Shea. Here we are off a turn 4. Ooh. Contact with Mitchell Javier and Jeff Green. Oh, nowhere for the 32 to go. And, man, Dusty couldn't see a freaking thing in that. That is unfortunate. Yeah. He had no idea what was going on until it was way too late. So here we are on board with the 4. See, there's the contact, and oh my goodness! Wow, what an avoidance by Logan Shea. The 4 is for the number of years taken off of his lifespan after that.
Yeah, that took a couple of years off. Oh.
There's some matter-of-fact chatter going on in over the radio right now. Running in. Yeah, I'm curious too, because it seemed like it was going to work out great for Picumer, and then all of a sudden the wheels just came off. See, not the best jump from the 59. And Tommy Ryan just practically bump drafting Picumer into the corner. Then just not a whole lot of speed, then a bit of a bump from Ryan. gets the Pecumer all out of shape, and here comes the 3 wide. And then some more near contact.
Yeah, it looked like Ryan really couldn't do nothing out of 2. You know, he's getting on the gas like everyone is, trying to carry the momentum, and it looked like Caleb didn't have the speed up off the exit, and Ryan really couldn't get way out of it because he had a truck right on his back bumper, and it's just a racing thing, and it's just a really close situation right there.
Yeah, and just can't really figure out what was going on with the 59 to make him not be able to keep up that momentum through the center of the corner. You figured he would have been able to gas it up and just drive right around 10 of McIntosh, but something happened in that 59 that ended up costing him quite a few positions.
Yeah, and don't let it get in your head, Caleb. I mean, just calm down. All you gotta do is finish close to William, and you're gonna be in the Champ 4. I mean, so don't get over. How do I say? Don't get too mad about it. You know, it was just a racing deal. There was no one at fault there. Just calm your nerves, log back in. You clearly got a fast truck. You got the pole, won the stage, led all the laps to that stage. So just lock in right here, man. Focus up.
Yeah, just take a deep breath and just ultimately don't do anything stupid.
All you need to worry about is that 43 truck. Don't worry about winning the race. Just make sure you finish within, what was it, 9 points? So like 8 positions of that 43 truck.
Absolutely. As the pace car makes a hard left-hand turn on a pit road, Ethan Stanley leads us to the restart zone. Green means go. We're back underway here at Gateway. And a terrible restart from William White. That's going to get him swamped. Fighting back. Not going to be able to get to the outside of Trey Eitz, and Trey will take back P2.
Yeah, but luckily for William, he was on that outside there, so he can really defend his spot with not having a good jump. And Stanley with another massive jump on that restart. A good way to lead right here. Now you just fog laps and ooh, I see them.
Yeah, I think Pecumer might have got loose off of forward, and now he's on the inside. Whoa, we're gonna be 3 wide. McCorkle can't hang on, so we are 2 wide off of turn 2.
Just don't be too mad. Don't overdrive the truck. You're still in a good spot right now.
Yeah, as it stands right now, he is good about, I think, 4 point? No. I think 3 points right now, if my math is correct. Obligatory Zach Evans. I was told there would be no math.
Yeah.
But he does gotta get that 59 back going again. As he runs low, gives the outside to Norgard, and Elate's gonna power through. I don't know what Caleb was doing right there. Great corner though. He's able to clear Norgard, but nervous times for the 59 camp here.
Yeah, big time. And he hasn't got any damage from that earlier thing. I just think he's a little too hot-headed about this. What happened with the 66? I think he's still a little aggravated. He needs to calm back down. Like you said, take a deep breath and just log these laps in. You just got to stay within a certain amount of positions, and he can do that. He's fast enough to do that tonight.
Yeah, but that 12 truck is absolutely heating up his rear end, almost bump drafting him into the corner. See Gerald side by side, making another position. Gerald has the freshest tires of anyone in the field right now. So he looks to the inside of Jaden Rasimas, and he's going to clear him easily. Norgard side by side with Pecumer, and he's going to clear it. Here comes Frank Fody.
Yeah, and
Frank to the inside. Caleb gonna hold on for now, but here comes Gerald on the freshies, and here comes Gerald making it 3. Oh, this is gonna be close. Caleb able to clear both of them, but Gerald gonna get the pass done on Frank and gonna try to get the pass done on the 59.
yeah, what saved him there is Frank lifted early, let Gerald have that spot. It's like these tires are really coming into play. You can really see. Oh!
Woo! A little bit of right side romance. Campbell into Pecumer.
Caleb, you can't do that move, right? That's not a good move. That.
No.
Oh, I don't think that was good.
Oh. Meanwhile, helpful to Pecumer. Here comes Seth battling with William, and he's going to clear him. One less point for William, but now if you're Pecumer, you have to hope that Seth just kind of stays right there. Seth Rawls looking for the ultimate walk-off win to fight for a championship 1 week from now.
Yeah, and these boys better start going. It looks like Gerald's just flying with those fresh tires. I don't know if there's enough time to get past all these trucks and get up there, but that was his best chance to try to win the race, was taking a different strategy with these fresher tires.
Yeah, about 3 seconds for Gerald up to the race lead with 16 laps to go. Gonna take
Look at here. Looks like Caleb is struggling.
Yeah. I don't know what has happened to that 59 truck, but all the speed we saw in the first half of the race is gone. He is holding on for dear life here. 2 points to the good.
And the good thing about it, at least he has a teammate behind him, so his teammate's not going to put him under a lot of pressure.
Tommy trying to fight with Ty McIntosh. Got a little loose on the entry. Still hangs to the inside of Ty. To see Cody McCorkle with a fantastic recovery. He was backed into the wall early in this race. Now he's P8.
Yeah, and him and
Whoa.
Tom both catch the wall out of 4th.
They sure did. As Frank Fody has gotten by Pecumer, it's now +1. And here comes Logan Shea.
Yeah, I don't know if he took 2 tires, didn't take any tires. It just seems like everybody just has a little bit more speed than Caleb right now.
Well, with the positions he lost on pit road, I imagine he had taken 2 or taken forward a few others took 2, but something has happened. I don't know if he got damage from that incident or what, but that 59 truck is hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, and oh yeah, he does. I see it right on the left side of that back bumper. It's a little dented in, so that could be what he's struggling with right there. I can see his truck's a little loose in the corner, so that could be what his problem is right now.
He's able to hold off Shea. Almost contact. Oh man, look at that. You cannot get any closer than those two are, literally.
Yep, and that slight damage here reminds me of what happened to me at Phoenix Wednesday night in the Cup race, man. I was in a spot to win the race, and I cut the dog leg, and it actually damaged the diffuser, and it really hurt how the car handled the rest of the race. And this is what it looks like on the truck, you know, a little light damage on the rear, and it's really affecting the truck.
Obligatory rant about how the dog leg was a mistake.
Yep.
So far, though, he is doing just enough to keep that 4 at bay.
Yeah. I know 11 laps is not that long, but when you're in that driver's seat fighting in the spot that he is, 10 laps right here are going to take forever.
These are the longest laps in Caleb Becumer's life right now.
When you're in this spot and you're trying to fight tooth and nail, trying to keep the spot, knowing this is going to take you to that Champ 4, and that's, if you give up that spot, you lose it. I mean, this 10 laps could feel like the whole 90 lap race we have had. You just start the race over, and it's slow motion the entire time, just sitting there, mirror, sweating. Please don't pass.
Yeah, 30 seconds feels like 30 years. As Jaden almost got the wall. Battling
like he did
hard.
get the wall.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell. As battling with Austin and Abnett. Austin gonna get the spot. Meanwhile, Becumer's now starting to gap Logan Shea.
He pulled a little gap here, starting to what he needs to do. Now he needs to get up to Fody, work on him, get that move, make it +2, just in case Williams able to get by Seth towards the end of this race. But looks like he's losing a little time to Seth right there. So Caleb's sitting in a good spot right now. Just needs to not lose any positions.
Yeah, this is a great run for Seth. He needed to make something happen. Entered in as a must-win and just doing a great job, but ultimately just a couple spots short right now of getting that walk-off he needs.
Yep.
And it
So close,
looks
though.
like Becumer was able to get by Frank Fody, so now it's +2 to the good.
Yeah, but there's a lot of trucks behind him now that are really starting to put pressure on these guys.
Yeah.
And the
In
only
past-
good thing about Caleb, he has 2 teammates behind him who could possibly help, but I don't think any drivers are going to like teammates helping a guy out like this.
Absolutely.
Oracle, man, a good recovery tonight. I know it sucked early in the race getting turned, but the drive back all the way up into the top 10.
Yeah,
What a
impressive.
good night.
Absolutely impressive drive for Cody as he puts it up into P7 right now. While further back, Jane looking to try to get back to the inside of a Nabnet. We have 5 laps to go here at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Yeah, it looks like Fody's putting the pressure back on Caleb here, and good run by Caleb on the exit of the corner. It's just he's doing what he needs to do right now.
Here comes Shea. Logan battling with Frank Fody. This is exactly what Becumer wants to see in his mirror.
Oh, it looked like the 60 kind of got in the back of the 4 there.
Yeah,
Up the track.
poor Logan Shea. Deja vu for the 4 as here comes the 60.
Yeah, these guys are doing everything to race these boys so that Caleb does not lose any more spots. It looks like, yeah, Williams losing some time to the leaders. Looks like Seth is just staying nice and even with those guys. So I know Seth needs a win. William needs to pass those 2 or 3 guys to get up there.
And William is in a hornet's nest right now. He is battling with Tommy Ryan and Gerald right behind. As there goes Tommy Ryan.
And this is just unlucky. I mean, what could have been for William if that last lap incident didn't happen at Charlotte?
Yeah, that one is going to hurt as we have 2 laps to go here at Gateway. Meanwhile, up at the front, Ethan Stanley continues to pull away, trying to bring one more win home before he tries to grab a championship next week.
I think Caleb did the right thing. He's held his spot, keeping what he needed to do right here in this last drive after that mistake, just to keep himself in this Champ 4 fight.
Absolutely. We see the race leader. It didn't start off like a traditional Ethan Stanley domination. He had to fight his teammate off for a good chunk of it, but once he got into that clean air, it was all she wrote. Coming off a turn 4, heading to the checkered. Ethan Stanley is going to win at Gateway. And coming off a turn 4, welcome to the Championship 4. Caleb Pecumer will fight for a championship next week at Darlington. Well, the longest 40 laps of his life, but Caleb will bring it home off of a dominant Stage 1 performance.
Yeah, and I think that pretty much is what got him into the Champ 4. Getting the pole and then leading those 30 laps and winning the stage is pretty much what got him there. So good stuff on him. He did what he needed to do tonight.
Absolutely. I think it ultimately ended up +3. It's some more conversations are happening on over the radio chatter. We're gonna go ahead and take the opportunity to get a one last commercial break in, and we'll be back with our top 3. Alrighty, we are back. And we are still waiting on our top 3 to hop into the waiting room. Meanwhile, gonna give one more shout to another one of our premier partners, Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels. Accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big. Alrighty, and now we got our third place finisher, Seth Rawls, in the waiting room, and let's talk to him. Seth, James in the booth, you got a copy.
What's up?
Well, unfortunately, just came up a little bit short on that storybook win to get into the Final Four, but you know what? That was still a fantastic run for you tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, I wish I had that kind of. I mean, I feel like I had good speed all around, just bad luck all around with getting in wrecks and getting wrecked and all that fun stuff. I think I got wrecked in every single race up leading up to this, so put myself in a bad hole getting wrecked there. So, but yeah, overall really good run by myself, the whole team, honestly. Let's say we had a lot of fast trucks, just couldn't capitalize on the 4 tires over 2 tires with Stanley. But yeah, overall I think pretty happy with it. But obviously it sucks to not make it, but a good momentum because I'm not a big fan of the shifting. I got the hang of it pretty good there, so I was proud of myself for that.
Yeah, it was still a great performance for you. What was the thought process and the mindset coming into this one tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I was just laid on the line there. If the yellow did come out there, I was definitely planning to either stay out, most likely, or take two if everybody did pit. So really just, yeah, I put all the chips on the table, but didn't really have the opportunity to. I had the opportunity to take two, I think it was the second yellow, after like a 10 lap run. But honestly, I think I was gonna get more stuck than do for good for myself. So I took a four, and it got me up to third. So it was some hard racing out there, though. So props to Will, Gerald. We all raced pretty hard there for a really good bit. Leighton, at the start of the race, we were all racing pretty hard.
Yeah, and so what becomes the mindset now going into Darlington with one last race in the season? Try to get yourself another dub?
Yeah, honestly, just try and help Trey. It'd be huge to get Shifty Sports his first championship. That's the goal, I think, for all of us, to help Trey out as much as possible. Obviously, we have to race around races too, but I like Darlington. We'll see what happens, but really, just gonna be my team owner hat will be on most of the night, just trying to make sure if he needs anything, if he needs a glass of water, I'll go get one. But yeah, anything like that, just trying to help him out and hopefully bring home a chip.
All right. Well, still a great run for you tonight. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, honestly, all of our sponsors. Hopefully, Trey will have a good interview next week. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But all of our sponsorship esports keeps us going. Excited to announce stuff for 2026A. Myself is SR Design. If you need a logo, paint scheme, all that kind of stuff, reach out. SethRawlsDesign.com. And yeah, Shift Esports, keep it on. Looking forward to next week with Trey in the Final Four.
All righty. Well, we appreciate you, Seth, and hopefully we're talking to you next week as well.
Hopefully. See you guys.
All right. There's our third place man of Seth Rawls. And now talk to our runner up and his teammate, Trey Eitzen. Trey, James in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, great run for you tonight. Some good momentum here going into the championship races. Take us through your night.
I mean, it was pretty straightforward. Started kind of top 3 or 4, rode pretty much there all night long. That one restart where people stayed out and took, a mixture of staying out in 2 and 4. That was probably the most eventful thing that happened of the evening, but it was actually pretty smooth. I was like, man, we're all just gonna probably about to end it off of 2 and have a huge, massive wreck, but rolled the bottom, got to second. Thought I had an tire advantage on Ethan, but I think those 2 yellows kind of worked in his advantage. It let his left sides kind of cool down, and then the clean air was a pretty big deal. And then I think I cooked my right front, just overdrive an entry. So I was trying, but that last 10 laps, I had nothing. Had burnt my tires up, and the right rear was toast off of 2. It was just so I just settled in and took my lumps, brought it home second.
Yeah, and what's the mindset going into next week? One race away from a championship.
Yeah, I need to log some laps. I only practice about probably 15, 20 minutes for these things. So I need to probably log some laps, get familiar with Darlington, at least from the hot lap perspective. I've always been pretty decent at Darlington on the long run, but I don't qualify well. So I mean, I know Ethan's going to qualify well. Tommy's going to qualify well. Like those guys are going to be, everybody's going to be going all out, and those 2 are amazing on tire conservation and long runs. So probably log some laps, put some work in, something a little different, prepare for Darlington more than I do the rest of these things. Just try to figure Darlington out. I've never, there's the line moves around in 3 and 4. I don't know really what the truck likes, whether it's going to want to be, ripping the top or running the dotted lines or in the middle. Like I don't know. So I'm gonna put some practice in, and I feel like Ethan's the favorite. I think that's kind of obvious statement. So I feel like, if we get the playoffs have been pretty clean. I think everybody kind of calms down and starts racing. We only had like a caution or two each race. So I'm expecting green flag runs at Darlington. So I probably have to, unless I show up and I'm the fastest thing there from the pole and dominating it, there's probably gonna be some strategy that has to be thrown. So yeah, it's like a word salad, but I mean that's kind of my mindset right now.
Alrighty, well, it's a great run for you tonight. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, I just kind of think AB Quality Auto Glass. They've been on the Xfinity car and the truck all season. The Xfinity program, we kind of turned that around. I was awful, and then we missed the playoffs, and then actually the last 3 weeks we've been pretty competitive. But that's another car. I got to figure out the tires because when I feel like I'm saving, I still get chewed up. So just got to figure this thing out again. But yeah, thanks to them, thanks to Seth, thanks to everybody at Shift Esports. We'll see where the cards lay after Darlington.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you, Trey, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Alright, there's our runner-up, Trey Eidson, and now time to talk to our race winner, Ethan Stanley. Ethan, James in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, it's best way to end everything before the championship race, getting yourself another win on the books.
Oh yeah, really happy with that. Just beginning of the race, didn't really feel like I had any pace. I know I was in second, but just kind of everybody was stuck in a line, and I just didn't quite have enough for Caleb. But just got the track position, took 2 tires, and it seemed to work. Truck felt really loose at the start of the run, but as the sun started going down, I kind of figured out the line that everybody else is running. Just you just start pushing a little bit harder into the corner, and it would burn off the right front a little bit less. And yeah, just was able to eke out the gap at the end there with the dirty air.
Yeah, it's you really turned it on there at the second half. It was a great restart for you to get through all the chaos and all the guys staying out and get yourself into that lead and get that all important track position.
Yeah, his track position was the most important thing in the race, really. If you could just stay a little bit in front of the guy in second, clean air would help you a lot because you get within 3/10 of the truck in front of you, and it builds tight.
Yeah, and finally, what are your thoughts here going into the championship race?
Oh, I'm pretty excited. Darlington and these trucks should be pretty fun. Hope it's a little bit loose. Hope the track temps aren't too low. But yeah, pretty excited for that. It's going to be a tough one. Got some really fast guys I'm competing with. Trey, Tommy, and Caleb. So gotta bring my A game, and pretty excited for that.
Already, well, another great win for you tonight. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout outs you like to give?
Yeah, as always, big shout out to Blue Egg Marketing. Couldn't get done without them. Big shout out to Lake and Caleb for making it in just by a hair. I know he had damage at the end there. Big shout out to you guys up in the booth. Always love watching all these back. I can't forget big thanks to JD Designs painting all the trucks and cars I run throughout the week. And then just big shout out to Chad and Mathieu and all the guys that run this week.
Alrighty, we appreciate you, Ethan, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Yep, see you around, guys.
All right, that is your race winner, Ethan Stanley. I think that just about does it for us here. Matt, what are your closing thoughts on a fantastic next to last race of the season?
It was good. It was a good gateway race. Some chaos here and there. Some mistakes, I should say. Someone messed up a little bit. and everything turned out good. A good little battle at the end, point wise, to see who was going to make it, and who not. It was so close, you know. I'm sure those guys' hearts were beating out of their chest. You know, William and Caleb, they're like, "Oh, is this enough to make it?" You know, stressing time. It was good. What a way to get these Champ Fours guys locked in there. Now it's time to go race for a championship.
Alrighty, well, I think it's time we bid everyone adieu on that and get prepared ourselves for the championship race 1 week from now. For my broadcast partners, Matthew Weeks and Jesse Rasimas, I'm James Watson, saying good night from Gateway, and we'll see you next week. Good night, everyone.